Welcome to Coffee and a Weather Map with Jeff, the Lower Michigan forecast for September 3rd, 2025, and today is Wednesday, I think. Anyway, to start off with the upper air pattern, you can see that at least one little trough has moved through, and we've got another one with a big reinforcing shot of cooler air coming in behind it. There's a fair amount of dynamics with that for northern Michigan coming across the northern plains with some of those higher wind speeds right there just southwest of the low. I'll have to keep an eye on that as things come through, and I think that's one of the reasons why it kind of turns somewhat unsettled here over the next day or so. To look at the map this morning, just to take a look at the broader picture, we do have the cold front that's moving through the upper Great Lakes, or just starting to. There's one in the middle Mississippi Valley, which then tails into south central Texas and out into West Texas. That's something to keep an eye on as well. They might get a reinforcing cold shot here coming up, but we'll see how that turns out. Otherwise, we do have a frontal system that has been off the Atlantic coast for a while now. It looks like it's pushed all the way through Florida now and is kind of has ended in the Gulf there. There is another little trough out there as well. Okay, for northern Michigan specifically, I was talking about this. There is a low pressure system there just to the north in the northern part of Lake Superior with that cold front coming across. And just to take a look at the radar as it currently stands, while the front is coming across, you can kind of envision it there on the back end of the rain. And then all those little rain showers are that cold advection sort of rain that we get this time of year. So you see that the main line of showers and thunderstorms is right along the starting to get into northwest lower Michigan. We're going to zoom in on the KAPX radar, and you can see that line of showers and thunderstorms. That pretty much goes all the way down the Lake Michigan shoreline from the Straits. And it's also going through the UP. It's just past Sault Ste. Marie now. The thunder is right along the edge of it, where you'd expect the best dynamics with the system going on. And we can quickly just move over to Grand Rapids to see the same sort of thing. There's a few scattered showers and thunderstorms out over Lake Michigan south of Muskegon, but the main thrust of everything tends to be coming across with that low. It looks like there's a little bit more rain, and we'll just do a real quick look at the Milwaukee radar to see the back edge of this stuff. So no thunder, at least with that towards the back. It just looks like it's going to be more rain here later on. We'll talk a little bit about that here in the forecast as we get going. All right, so you can kind of see with what's going on in lower Michigan. That gives us for SPC and for WPC. WPC doesn't expect any necessarily excessive heavy rain. That is for other areas, probably down there in Kansas where you kind of see that. Otherwise, the upper Great Lakes right now just has general thunder this morning and expected through for the next 24 hours. I would suspect that most of lower Michigan will be out of the general thunder forecast area by the night, by this evening. Otherwise, across the rest of it, you've got that moisture coming up out of the southwest that's going to get into the desert southwest. I think that's Tropical Storm Elena. All that moisture is going to come forward. A little bit of energy, but it's not like it's an actual tropical storm by the time it gets there. It's going to be whatever's left, but there's a lot of moisture with it, and that's expected to go all the way into the desert southwest. Okay, day two, you can see out west that that's where all that moisture is going, and you see that slight risk there in southern Arizona. That would be the main concern there. The front that's moving through Michigan right now is cleared Michigan for tomorrow, so we don't have any threats of thunderstorms, at least but there's something else that we do have to take a look at. And then there is a marginal risk of severe weather coming across that cold front going through the mid-Atlantic states all the way up into upper New York State. And for day 3, well, looks like more thunder possibilities a little bit later. I wonder if this is just a little bit with that jet streak. There's a little thunder there as the line's coming through here north of Muskegon. So day 3, kind of, there's a little bit of that jet streak that kind of moves through. I think that's going to help things, at least to give a general sense of thunderstorms. Otherwise, I don't expect a whole lot more other than probably just rain showers during that time period. And you can see out west, that's kind of the same sort of thing. A little bit more on another wave that's coming through, and that front still kind of hung up down there by Florida, so that they have a marginal risk of rain, heavy rain there. All right, so let's get into the local forecast. I forego the beach forecast because the weather is not that great. It's just it's doubtful that anyone's going to the beach. There are beach hazard statements up and down the coast as well. So, but it's unlikely anyone's going to the beach to just sit there and cool off, especially when temperatures in northwest lower Michigan are running 65 to 70 degrees for the high today. And that's probably this morning. After that, it's probably going to cool off quite a bit. Then we have 70s across the rest of lower Michigan, all the way up to the lower 80s over in the Detroit area. For tonight, low temperatures are going to be in the 40 to 45 degree range. Yeah, there's a few 50s maybe along the Lake Michigan shoreline, or maybe even Lake Huron too. But if you get inland, you're getting into the upper 30s there, just a little bit east of Cadillac and down there by south along Houghton Lake. So beware of that. Otherwise, we're going to be in the 40s again across most of southern lower Michigan, with a few places just getting to 50 degrees for the low temperatures. And as I've said before, there is, in the next 24 hours ending Thursday morning, we do have that chance of rain. Most of it's going to be here on the front end of it. So the afternoon probably could be less likely, but there's still scattered rain showers probably over the next, especially overnight tonight. All right. So the high temperatures tomorrow, you can see what a difference that 24 hours is going to make. We're 55 to 60 degrees for highs in northwest lower Michigan and parts of north central lower Michigan. You get further south, we're mainly in the 60s, 60 to 65, almost to 70 there in the Detroit area. But the west side of the state, 60 to 65 degrees. Temperatures overnight, that night, looks like we're going to be in the mainly 45 to 50 degree range downstate here. There are some sub 45 degree temperatures, not only in northern lower Michigan, but then in the east as well, as that high pressure kind of goes over and the winds decouple and go calm. You see that they have less of a chance of rain over there. This is starting to look a little bit like a lake effect rain pattern, with most of the higher probabilities there along the northwest lower Michigan shoreline, 90% there all the way to Gaylord. And then you start getting into the likelies across portions of the state like Alpena down to Muskegon. And then the further southeast you go, then it starts to trail off over the time, so that by Friday morning, that is the expectation of where people are most likely going to get rain. All right, so for Friday, high temperatures, again, we're going to be 55 to 60 in northern lower Michigan, with some mid-60s there along the Lake Huron shoreline, partially from downsloping effects, partially from the water temperatures. But things are going to probably moderate a little bit on that side of the state. You can see that the cooler air is definitely streaming in the northwest, and it kind of reaches down into southwest lower Michigan. But we were going to get that 60 to 65 degrees for southwest lower Michigan, west Michigan, and then over on the other side of the state, 65 to 70, and even getting into the lower 70s down to the Detroit area, all the way down to Toledo. Min temperatures looks a lot like the last day or so. You've got cool temperatures in the thumb as things kind of clear out, especially then also down there by I-94 from Jackson, Coldwater, Adrian, Kalamazoo. We'll probably get enough break in the cloud cover and some calm winds that things are going to cool off. Otherwise, the rest of the state's going to be somewhere 45 to 50 degrees for low temperatures. Now, the rain, it does look like it's starting to clear out a bit for Friday night, with most of it in the UP, or not the UP, but northern lower Michigan. There is a chance there, if you're north of Muskegon along the lake shore, of it being about a 40 to 50% chance. And then as you get further to the north, then the chances increase as you get up to the bridge. Eastern UP is going to be probably very, very likely, well, over 90%. So that's a categorical. It's going to rain up there. But the further south you go, as you get to Grand Rapids, Lansing, we're looking right around the 20% range. Isolated showers at most. I wouldn't be surprised if most of that area clears out. And with that, thanks for listening. If you have any comments, questions, or want a forecast, leave me a comment on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. I'm willing to listen, and we can discuss what you want to know about. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.